In this presentation, we'll be learning about the indirect object pronoun, what we know in Spanish as complemento indirecto. The indirect object pronoun tells us to whom or for whom an action is done in the sentence. For the form of yo, the indirect object pronoun is me. For tú is te. For usted, él, and ella is le. For nosotros is nos. For vosotros is os. And for ustedes, ellos, ellas is les. Once again, the I.O.P are me, te, le, nos, os, les, and they indicate in a sentence to whom or for whom an action is done. The equivalent in English would be like saying Santa Claus used to give us presents, where Santa Claus will be the subject and the indirect object pronoun will be us. So Santa Claus used to give us presents. Now I'm going to give you an example in Spanish. Since Santa Claus is going to be always the subject, then el verbo is going to be el verbo dar, which means to give. So it's always Santa Claus doing the action. That's why it's always daba. But Santa Claus used to give me, used to give you, used to give him, used to give her, used to give us, used to give them. And that's how we're going to conjugate it. So, me daba, te daba, le daba, nos daba, os daba, and les daba. Here's how it works. If I want to say Santa Claus used to give me toys, well, Santa is the subject and me is the indirect object pronoun. That's why I have to say Santa Claus daba juguetes. But to whom? To me. That's why I have to add the indirect object pronoun me. Santa Claus me daba juguetes. Or we can say we used to give cookies to Santa. Now we are the subject and Santa becomes the indirect object pronoun. So nosotros dábamos, but because it's Santa, it's him and it's singular, we have to use the I.O.P le. Nosotros le dábamos galletas a Santa. We used to give Santa cookies. To make the meaning of le and les clear, because when we use le, who can be receiving the action? It might be him, her, or you formal. And when we use les, who can be receiving the action of the verb it might be ellos or ellas or ustedes. So to make the le and the use of le and les clear, we're gonna add to the sentence the letter a plus a noun or a pronoun. Let me give you an example. Santa le daba muñecas. If I let the sentence without the a rosa and the Santa le daba muñecas, we won't know who were Santa giving dolls. And that's why we have, because le might be for him or to her or to you formal or to Carlos or to Patricia. In this case, we want to make it clear by adding the letter A plus a noun. In this case, the name of a girl, Rosa. Santa le daba muñecas a Rosa. Santa les daba muchos juguetes a los niños. Well, how do we know is les? We're going to find the sentence, the letter A plus a noun or a pronoun. In this case, it's a noun that means the kids. So Santa les daba muchos juguetes a los niños. Santa used to give a lot of toys to the kids. And one more, yo le mentía a la abuela algunas veces. The key here is says I used to lie. To whom? We're going to find the letter A plus the noun or a pronoun. In this case, it's a noun that means grandmother. So I used to lie to the grandmother sometimes. Yo le mentía a la abuela algunas veces. Los niños les ofrecían galletas a ellos. Kids used to offer cookies to whom? A ellos. That's why it's les. Now we're going to practice. This is going to be your time to see if you get this. So you're going to complete the sentence with the missing IOP, either me, te, le, nos, os, or les. And then I'm going to click to see if you get the answer right. We're going to do this orally. So, número 1, yo, space, molestaba a mi hermana. And your answer is le is correct. And we know it's le because you found the letter A plus a noun or a pronoun. In this case, to my sister, which is singular. That's why it's le. Número 2. Guillermo y Raúl nos hablaban a nosotros. It says a nosotros, that's why it's nos. Número 3. La niña, and if you find the letter A, says a ti, then you're going to use the IOP te. La niña te daba las gracias a ti. Johnny y yo ofrecíamos helado a los niños, to the kids. In this case, it's going to be Johnny y yo les ofrecíamos helado a los niños. Tú permitías ganar en Monopoly. So you used to allow to let somebody win in Monopoly. In this case, you find the letter A and says a mí, to me. That's why the IOP would be me. Correct. Número 6, su padre. It says a su hijo. That means to him, to his son. So in this case, it says su padre le daba un coscorrón a su hijo por travieso. Y número 7, mis papás escribían would be the verb, but to whom? To whom did they used to write? To Carlos. That's why it says mis papás le escribían a Carlos siempre. In the next slide, now we're going to use the IOP, but we also are going to practice the conjugation of the verb in parentheses using the imperfect tense that we have been studying and practicing this week. So you're going to complete the sentence with the missing IOP, either me, te, le, nos, os, or les, and the verb that you're going to conjugate in parentheses based on who is doing the action. All right, let's do número 1. Yo is the subject, so the verb should be hablaba, correct? Yo hablaba, but to whom? It says a mis amigos, so in this case would be yo les hablaba a mis amigos. Número 2, mis padres. Mis padres is doing the action, so it should be daban. And it says mi cumpleaños, so they probably used to give me money. So mis padres me daban dinero para mi cumpleaños. Número 3, yo. And I always try to go and come up with the verb first, so I don't make a mistake in the verb conjugation. So in this case, número 3 is yo escribía. And now I'll go back and try to place the indirect object pronoun. What is the indirect object pronoun? I found the letter A and it says a mi abuelo, to my grandfather, which is singular and masculine. So I'm going to use le. So yo le escribía a mi abuelo. Número 4, we use the same process. To is the subject. So I'm going to conjugate ayudar with the to form, which means to ayudabas. To whom I used to help. And then I'm going to find the letter A plus tus amigos, to your friends. So I'm going to use tú, correct? Les ayudabas a tus amigos con la tarea. You used to help your friends with the homework. Número 5 es nosotros. What do you think is the answer? Let's say the IOP first. Nosotros te, and the verb ofrecíamos. Te ofrecíamos juguetes en Navidad a ti. We used to offer you toys for Christmas. Número 6 es su padre. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the verb is. And número 6 is el verbo dar, to give. So you're going to say, his father used to give advices to his son. So, su padre daba, and because it says a su hijo, then it's going to say, le daba muchos consejos a su hijo. What do you think number 7? What is the answer for number 7? Well, if you see the letter A, right, a Paco, and it's singular, then you know that it's going to be le, and Rosa then is going to be doing the action. So it's a Rosa le gustaba. A Paco le gustaba Rosa. I hope you understand how the I.O.P works, and we're gonna be now doing practices where you use the I.O.P and then also conjugate the verbs in the imperfect tense. Adios.